Welcome back to another story time, everyone. Come one, come all. Listen, we're not going to do too much, chitting and chatting and beating around the old bush. We're not going to spend too much time lollygagging on the old dusty trail. So, this is the story about the time that I took Molly and Oxycontin at work. Now, I'm just going to start off and put a giant old disclaimer on this video saying, that this is purely for entertainment purposes. This is just a story. In fact, this is a made up story. In no way am I glorifying drugs, but in no way am I telling you not to do them. I am not for or against them. I am simply providing a story for entertainment value. So, now that we got that out of the way, this is about the time I took Molly and Oxys at work. Now, let me tell you, this is a fucking classic. It wasn't too long ago that this happened, actually. This happened about a year ago, right? So, let me set the scene a little bit for you. We're in the heat of the pandemic, okay? And, I'm kind of working at this store, and, we'll get into it. It was a different town over, I'm living in an apartment. This was just, whole different situation that I'm in now, okay? And, it's one fine afternoon, one beautiful day, and, I got a buddy there, and, really quickly, I kind of had a feeling that he was going to be, a guy I would be speaking with often because, I didn't want to assume, but he definitely looked like he consumed drugs. Now, this was, sounding pretty promising, right? So, lo and behold, on one, fateful day, I'm talking to Austin and he's like, yeah, bro, yesterday was fucking crazy, I was smoking and eating mushrooms and shit. And I'm very intrigued. I'm leaning in, if you will. I'm doing the Birdman hand roll. You know what I'm saying? I'm very interested. I'm like, ooh, some of my favorite things. Tell me more. Actually, you know what? Say less, bro. Let me get your phone number. So, we're talking about this shit on the clock, not doing fuck all. And I get his phone number from him, and I'm like, all right, bet, bro, hit me up or I'll hit you up, just let me know, let me know it's good. So, fast forward, a little bit into the future, a few days, possibly a week or two. And, I run into Austin at work. Now, Austin's saying, he's like, yo, bro, he's like, I got some fucking Molly right now. This shit's some fire. He's like, bro, you're going to want to get some of this from me. He's like, I can trade you if you got something to trade. He's like, let me know. So I'm like, yeah, bro, can you like send me a picture of that shit? Or, because he was really talking it up. He was making it sound like, he's Plugman Johnson. Well, we'll get to it, right? This guy could almost have his own fucking video for all the. He probably will, because we jumped through so many. Oh man, it was like a fucking chase. I had to fucking chase this guy. I had to track this guy down every day, trying to get my money and shit. Dude, this was a fucking scenario. But either way, I'm like, yo, bro, like, send me a pic or something. Like, what's good? And he's like, bet, I got you. So later that night, I'm hitting him up. I'm like, yo, because I hadn't ate the mushrooms and they were pretty gas. And now I had to make the journey to get these fuckers. I had to go out to butt fuck nowhere to get these, okay? And, so I was valuing that there was a little bit of tax on the travel. Simply, I think an eighth can be 20, 25. I think that's pretty fair. I was valuing it like a 25, 30. You know what I'm saying? Especially because he was really trying to find mushrooms. He genuinely was like, bro, do you have anybody that's got a mushroom plug? And I'm like, well, I'm not a plug, but I do have an extra eighth I could sell you. So, anyways, we're talking and shit. And I'm like, yeah, bro, you got that Molly? Well, let's trade, And I'm thinking, 25, 30 is what I'm valuing my eighth at. And he's, apparently he's not thinking close to the same fucking thing. He's like, yeah, bro, I'll hook you up. Like I said, he's making himself sound like Plugman Johnson over here. So, he's like, yeah, bro, I'm going to get you this shit tomorrow. We'll trade and shit. So I'm like, all right, bet. The next day rolls around, okay? And, I run into Austin. He's like, yeah, bro, I'll meet you out at my car. I'll be on my break. Just come find me, at this time, yeah, at whatever time it was. It was like middle of the day because he usually worked earlier. And if I was usually like a mid or a later shift. So, sometimes we had that overlap, right? And I was like, bet, bro, I'm going to come find you. So, I go out to Austin's car. I'm on the clock. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll sell drugs on the clock. Fuck you, fuck the system. But, I get into his car and I had these mushrooms just in my apron. I pull them out of my apron and I'm like, yo, bro, so these are what I got. They were like some white albinos or something. They were pretty damn good. They looked really nice. They were some quality. And yeah, I'm like, let me see this Molly. I'm kind of leaning in. I'm getting excited. I'm getting that. I'm feeling like a little kid. I'm getting like, woo. And he pulls it out, and first thing he kind of starts saying is he's like, yeah, man, I just capped this shit up in my bathroom real quick, and hopefully it should all be there. And that was the first thing that made me go, what the fuck, like. You cap this shit up in your bathroom? Like, that's kind of gross and shit. And he was like, yeah. I was just like, huh? What the fuck? But I was like, all right, let me see it. And I didn't take too good of a glance at it. I didn't take it out of the fucking cap. But he's like, yeah, bro, I packed this fat as fuck. It's at least 0.25. And I was like, oh, well, I was thinking a little more like 0.3. 3 points is what I'm saying, right? I was thinking more like that, and he's like, well, because I thought we were trading, and he's like, don't worry, bro, it's fat. It might even be like 0.27 or whatever. And I'm looking at it, and there are rocks in there. There's white rocks in there, and they're a little cloudy, what I'm saying? They're not like, they're not crystals or nothing, but they're nice. They'll do, they'll do the job. So I'm like, all right, we trade up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, damn, this looks a little thin, pickings look a little slim around here, but I don't buy too much Molly, so I don't exactly know, what I'm saying? Or at least, at this time, I wasn't exactly, I mean, I was still experienced, but, I wasn't as experienced as I am now, and just different things. So, I just didn't know exactly, by just looking at it, I couldn't tell. I couldn't be like, oh, no, that's short for sure, because let me tell you about this. Okay, well, that was weird, having a little issue with my computer. But anyways, I wasn't the most experienced Molly user in the world, I wasn't a fiend, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, bet, bro, we, dap them up, whatever. We, and I get out of the car. We go our separate ways. Now, I'm getting pretty excited, because on this day, I didn't really have shit to do. I was a courtesy clerk, so I was just kind of walking around, just not doing really fuck all, just kind of cleaning or some bullshit, something that didn't really matter, right? So, I slipped my way into the bathroom, and I'm all excited, and I'm all looking at it. And, I'm really looking at it and thinking, like, damn, these look like nice rocks, but it looks a little short, right? And so, I'm all, so I'm like, well, I'm going to go out to my car and kind of dump it out on my phone and get a little bit of a better look, right? So I go out to my car on my break, you know what I'm saying? And I dump it out on my phone a little bit. I'm looking at some of the rocks. I take a tiny little piece and put it on my tongue and taste it. And, it's definitely the taste is there. You know what I'm saying? It looks good when I take it out of the cap, because here's the thing, right? This motherfucker, dude, we'll get into this, right? But this capsule looked like it had been in his bathroom for years. It was fucking turning yellow and shit. It was dirty. It was all damn near broken. Excuse me. And it was just, I was like, okay, that's, I've never received something in such horrible packaging before, unless it was from like UPS or FedEx. So this is interesting. But the contents themselves looked nice. And you know what they say? Never judge a book by its cover. So that's exactly what I did. And, I decided I wasn't going to take it this day because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't doing shit. And, I just felt like I'll wait. Because, right, this is what I ended up doing. So a few days later, I had this shift where basically I was the person who would stand outside and hand out the masks, okay? So, I'm thinking this day will be perfect. And, I had also been hanging on to an Oxy for a while. And listen, when I say I had been hanging on to this Oxy for a while, I had been hanging on to this Oxy. Oh my God. It was dude, I was hanging on to that fucker for like a year. A year. Those things are like precious gems. You know what I'm saying? I I was just saving it for a rainy day, and this, beautiful summer afternoon seemed like the rainiest day yet. You know what I'm saying? I got to stand there for 8 fucking hours, hand out masks, and just talk to people. Doesn't sound all that bad, but time moves very slowly when you're doing this. So, this will be perfect, right? And I also had, have the old classic wax cart. People are going to be like, oh, don't smoke carts, you don't fake carts and all this. Dude, look, I've been smoking for a while. I've been smoking before all the hype and all the bullshit. And let me tell you, if you got a good cart, there ain't nothing to worry about. If it's just like concentrates. I mean, listen, people are fucking stupid. Don't listen to them. But either way, so I got the old classic, the old trusty, the old trusty steed on my side, and that thing on my hip, if you will. And I've also got some kratom, or how it's said properly, some kratom. I had I had like pounds of kratom, but at the time, but had gathered a few grams of it into capsules, right? I was pressing my own capsules of it at the time. For those of you that don't know what kratom is, it's essentially it's an opiate. It's really weird. It's kind of like a cross between like a psychedelic, like mushrooms and opiates. It's weird. It's really interesting, but either way, because I only had this one Oxy, right? And my plan, as you can probably guess by the title, was Molly Percocets, Molly and Oxys, and and I only had one Oxy, and this was going to be a long shift, so I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'll bring the kratom as well to supplement. You know what I'm saying? To, you know, just further my expedition, if you will. So, and that's exactly what I did. Now I haven't mentioned yet that before this day, or as soon as I got home the day of receiving the Molly, I go and weigh it. And I weigh this fucking Molly, and it's a 0.9. Or it's a 0.09 or whatever. It's not even 1 point. It's not even one dose. For those of you that don't really know the terms, people usually call a point, it's like a typical dose, You probably, especially for like, people with no tolerance, one good point is going to do you plenty. I mean, people say, no, I need like 2 or 3. Well, then they're not taking good Molly. But that's a different story. So I weigh it and it's not even a point, and I hit him up instantly. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm not like, what the fuck, but I'm like, yo, bro. I sent him a picture of it on the scale. I'm like, bro, I literally tasted the tiniest speck of this on my tongue. There's no way I took a point or a point and a half. And he's all, oh, he's like reminding me he capped it up in his bathroom and made a fucking mess. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, dude. But either way, he's like, yeah, bro, I'll get you right. I'll get you. Which, listen, I don't even, it took me so long to see just another point of that, and that's all I ended up getting. But, well, that's a whole nother story, you guys. Listen, I pretty much kind of got gypped on that deal. He was saying, oh, this is some of the best Molly ever. It's worth it even for that. So I think he kind of was trying to almost underplay me. Like, not like I was trying to undercut him or, like, get the better deal, but like I said, I had to travel to bumfuck nowhere to get these motherfuckers, to get the shrooms, and and no one around had shrooms, and I guess no one really had Molly either, but I don't know. I still got screwed on the deal either way. I got screwed on more things. But so, I've got this not quite a point, right? And so this day comes around where I have the door shift, and about 15 minutes before my shift, I pop the oxy. Okay, down the hatch, boom, over and done, one and done. You know what I'm saying? I've got all my other gadgets on me, and I'm ready to go. I pull up to work. You know what I'm saying? I shake up. My boy, oh my gosh, my phone keeps going off. But I already had to stop the video. My phone keep going off. Good morning to you too, motherfucker. So my first homie that I see there. Oh man, what are we gonna call this guy? Oh man, we're gonna call him. Look, we're gonna call him Jaden. Okay. So Jaden. So I hit up. I see Jaden. I'm like, yo, what's good, bro? And we had kind of been in I'd been telling him, I'm like, yeah, bro, when I have that shift, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the Molly. I didn't tell him I was gonna take the oxys though. And I didn't tell him about that. So I was like doing the little 2-for-1. So, I see him, I dap him up, whatever. I'm like, yo, what's good, bro? And I'm telling him, like, yeah, dude, I'm already on the oxy. I'm gonna take the Molly in a little bit. Once this starts kicking in, and I got a wax pen and I got kratom and shit, it's gonna be a great day. And he's like, oh fuck, bro, he's super hype. So I see my homie, I'm shaking up other people. Well, no one really shook anybody up, unless you were cool. And like the homies never stopped shaking, but a lot of people got weird and they just wanted to fucking touch elbows. I don't know, I wasn't really with the shit, but so I clock in, I'm on the clock now, and basically it comes time. I hadn't even been there for about 30 minutes, but I'm already 40 minutes, maybe an hour. It's definitely not my first break yet, and I'm feeling good. It's about, it's kind of kicking in, not really. Usually takes about an hour for me, depending on what I've just eaten or how much I've eaten. So not quite kicking in, just about, right? But I'm talking to everybody, I'm handing out masks, I'm doing my job, you know what I'm saying? I'm on my shit, and I see my boy Jaden, and I'm like, yo, bro, Jade, like, cover me for a sec. I'm like, I'm gonna go pop this Molly, I'm gonna go smack this wax pen, I'm gonna go get right, okay? And he's like, bro, say fucking less, go right now. So he tags me out or whatever, and I make my way to the bathroom, okay? So I get into the bathroom, everything's all fine and dandy. I'm just chilling out. And I'm looking at this Molly, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to take this? I kind of smack the wax pen a little bit, or the cart, whatever. And I'm like, well, fuck, I kind of wanted to gum some of it. Okay, so I pour about half onto my phone. And, I'm looking at it, and I'm feeling really excited. My heart's getting going. I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna take a shit. I need to take a shit. I'm like my hairs are standing up on the back of my neck. I'm all, I'm leaning in, I'm grinning, and I go ahead and I just, kind of throw these rocks in my gum, and close up the other part of the cap, and toss that fucker down the hatch. And I think I had a water or something on me, because like I've said, if you see my previous videos, I cannot take a fucking pill to save my life without water or some liquid. Like I said, I've just never been into deep throating, so if that's your thing, cool, it's all good. Everyone's has accepted here, and everyone's got a place to live, but it's just not me. So I get this fucker down the hatch, and I smack the wax pen a couple more times, and dude, let me tell you, the oxy's kicking in, and I don't know what the strength of it was. It wasn't the weakest one, but it wasn't the strongest one. It wasn't a 30. I think it was like 15 or something, or like 20. Decent strength. So, I come back, and I'm all, whew, I come out of that bathroom like a new man, you know what I'm saying? And I only been at work for an hour, and I'm already on 3 different drugs. And so, you know what I'm saying? I get my ass back out there. I'm like, I'm shaking Jaden back up. I'm like, bro, you're a lifesaver, always coming through. I'm like, hey, that's my boy. Hey, real quick, shout out to Jaden for putting in all the work. That's the homie right there. But, he was like, "Yeah, bro, I got you," and dude, he's gig, he's like, he's just laughing and shit and all giggly, and he's like, "Bro, this is hilarious." Like, he thought this was the funniest shit, dude. Because, like, dude, we were all about the fuckery, okay? We were all about how can we fuck this place as much as possible? How can we do as little work and get as much money and, not give a motherfuck and just have a great time? And that's exactly what we did. So, I get back out there and dude, I'm starting to feel really good. I'm talking to everybody. I'm feeling really nice. You know what I'm saying? Not quite on the come up of the molly yet. A little bit of a placebo, but like I said, I'm on the oxy. It's kicking in. I'm standing there just feeling amazing. Just amazing. Just splendid. Just spectacular. Just next level. And so I'm chilling out, I'm just kind of doing my thing, nothing really too eventful is happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm just feeling amazing. People are coming in, people, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to people. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to, I'm seeing little kids. I'm seeing old people. I'm seeing everyone and their mother. And I'm like, what's up? But, I'm like, hey, I'm seeing people. I'm like, what's up? I'm just, I'm throwing my hands up, I'm hooting, I'm hollering, there's music playing outside. I'm kind of feeling myself. I'm kind of shaking my hips a little bit, doing the thing, and just really having a great day. Just it's a beautiful day, like I said. It's like July or maybe August. No, it wasn't quite August. It was like July, maybe even June possibly. But like I said, it was about a year ago, and man, just it comes around my first break comes around, right? So, I do the typical. I go out to the smoking area and I'm smacking my wax pen. And dude, I fucking smoked some sketchy shit back there. Let me tell you, we were talking about smoking a blunt back there. We could have got away with it. Oh my god, the cottonmouth is unreal. I'm just gonna keep pushing though. So, I'm smacking this fucker. I'm getting great. I'm feeling great, man. And I get back out there, and it's been about an hour 15 since I popped the molly. The oxy's in full effect. And I'm starting to come up on this molly. And dude, I was just in fucking heaven. My eyes are rolling in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? I swear I can't believe nobody really didn't say anything to me on this day, because I was damn near walking up to people and like giving them hugs and being like, dude, and just like seeing people and being like, I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? Just just clearly on something. Clearly on something. I didn't give a fuck. Whatever. This shit was legendary. Like I said, and I'm chilling out, and pretty much lunch comes by in no time. 2 hours just blitz by, just absolutely they're gone. And I didn't see Austin this day, mainly because it was a later shift and he was always there in the morning, so I would never see him later in the day. So if anything, maybe I had shaken him up or whatever, dapped him up when he had left, like right when I got there, like that kind of thing. But he wasn't there. So, and honestly, he wasn't really the type of guy where it's like he would have been like, yo, bro, that's sick. Like, I wasn't telling too many people. There was this one girl, and we're gonna call her Skylar. So Skylar, hella cool, still a homies. I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, I'm on some fucking Molly. And I didn't even tell her I was on the Oxy, because I was like, I was like, damn, bro, if I go around telling people I'm on Molly and Oxy, like, that's a bit much. But I was telling her, I'm like, yeah, I'm on the Molly and shit. And she was like, she was like getting excited too. Everyone got excited when I told them I was doing drugs. Like, it was so profound to some people. They were like, you're on drugs? Like, they had never thought of this. I'm like, bro, I haven't been here a single day and have not been lit. Like, I have not been fucked up in some way, on some substance. No way, I just can't do it. I'd rather kill myself. So, either way, I'm basically, it's lunchtime or whatever, and I'm chilling out. I might have got a drink, honestly, if that. I think I got a drink and just went out back and was just smacking my wax pen. And it was really hot. So I didn't, feel like going to my car and turning it on and, just using gas and AC. I just didn't feel like doing it. So I go sit out back or whatever. I'm chilling. Nobody's out there. It's perfect. I loved going out back to chill where the smoking area was because, like, nobody would fucking bother you there. And when you're talking and greeting people and that's all you're doing all day, on your breaks you have to be alone. You can't be talking to people. You gotta recharge in those moments. And I'm fucked up as hell, so I don't want to be around people, or at least people I work with. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm out there, I'm chilling out, and I get back, come back from lunch, and I get back out there, and I remember I still have the kratom on me, or the kratom, and I probably had about 2-3 grams, maybe 4 grams. I didn't have the most, but plenty. Let me tell you, this was some strong stuff. And a gram, maybe 2 grams is all I really need, because once I start passing that point anyways, it becomes a little like, it's a little iffy. It'll make you nauseous, or it just has too many side effects when you start pushing the dose. It doesn't just increase it at a certain point. It does the complete opposite. It's dysphoric, not euphoric at a certain point. So I try to hit that right level, and I'm remembering, I'm like, oh shit, I still got these fuckers on me, and I'm busting, dude. Like I said, I would never tell somebody to do this. I would never recommend this, but trying to describe how it felt like, it was like, I mean, obviously it was like being on Molly, being on ecstasy or whatever. But for me, some people say like, oh, these two have no effect when you take them. Like, they don't, like, it's counterproductive. Well, to me, it's not. To me, it makes it even better. It's like they're making love with each other. Like, it's like my whole body's making love with itself. Like, it's fucking crazy, dude. And, these, oh man, it's like, okay, so for me, with like oxys or pills or anything like that, any sort of opiate, it's like when you feel the wind on your skin, it feels just so soft and welcoming, and it's just like, dude, if you've ever seen that Family Guy where Peter Griffin takes ecstasy, that's how I felt like when I was standing out there. I was like, these clothes, and I'm like feeling my clothes, and I'm just like, dude, every time I like touch my hand or like anything, or anytime somebody says hi to me, I'm just like, yeah, like, I'm just, dude, this was by far, especially like being in public, let alone work, this was one of the most fucked up I've ever been. And it was absolutely a hoot and a holler. Now, yeah, I don't really know how to, I mean, other than that, it's just, you just feel on top of the fucking world. And I was still pretty attentive, I didn't pass a threshold where I was too fucked up. Yeah, I was not making clear sentences, and I was like, like, I had that jaw shit going on or whatever, where my jaw was going cuckoo and shit, and I'm trying to control this shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, like, but I can't, like, my jaw's going crazy. And I was thinking, well, maybe if I take some of the kratom, it will kind of help me come off the Molly a bit. And listen, this was the only time I've ever taken Molly and kratom, or Molly and, pills or whatever, but man, that kratom, it was like, when it found that there was oxy, or when it found there was Molly in my system, it started putting in work, dude. Oh my god. I honestly thought I overdid it. I definitely remember getting tagged out. Like, I was like, I don't know who I found. It might have been Jaden. He might have left by this point. It's like 9 o'clock at night by this point. We close in about an hour, and then we got to do like 30 minutes of cleanup, okay? So I don't know who I found. I don't. It honestly might not have been Jaden. I think he was already gone. But I found somebody, and I was like, "Yo, cover my ass. I gotta go to the bathroom." And I get into the bathroom, and I just remember thinking, I was like, honestly, I should probably go home. I was thinking I should probably go home because, dude, like, I couldn't like. I felt like when I looked somebody in the eyes, I felt like I was telling them. I was like, bro, I'm sent off my rocker right now. I am absolutely loaded. I'm a loaded fucking potato right now, bro. I'm going, dude, my jaw, like looking in the mirror at my jaw, I had some molly mouth, let me tell you. I, dude, this was kind of bad. I can't believe no one really didn't say anything to me on this day. Thankfully, I got away with it, nobody knew. But I only ended up taking a gram of that kratom because I remember I started feeling kind of sick. I started feeling kind of sick, and you know, time comes around where we're cleaning up, and I just remember, you know, getting my cleaning shit done. I had just to put a couple things away and close the doors. Right, I'm just in charge of locking the doors, making sure they're locked. As soon as those fuckers are locked, I see my manager and I'm like, "Yo, I got a dip." And because I needed to eat I needed some, I don't know, something needed to happen. I was either gonna throw up or I needed to eat. I was starting to feel really sick, really weak. Kratom has this weird thing where it'll make you feel sick, even like on the come up or even just the whole time. It's honestly like a Russian roulette sometimes. I swear to God. Like sometimes I take it and I feel like absolute fucking hell, and then sometimes I take it and I feel like absolute fucking heaven. So it's like it just depends. But I was like, fuck, dude, I had to dip. And I remember In and Out was right across the street. So I go to In and Out and I'm like, I just get a double double. You know what I'm saying? A classic. Might have been animal style. I don't know. Probably not. Just grilled onions, maybe. Just keep it chill. But I remember I got this burger and I got back to my apartment, whatever. I get inside and I just laid on the ground and I just was, dude, I was just eating this burger so slowly, just rolling, just thinking, what in the fuck did I just do? Because I knew tomorrow was gonna it was gonna suck, dude. I mean, I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking like how hard I was fucking rolling in combination with probably not the oxy still, that was long gone, but definitely Molly and Kratom. Plus, I had been smacking that wax pen all day, dude. So I was pretty fucked up. And I don't know how I was eating, but this is honestly my most vivid memory from the whole thing. I remember just laying on the floor, eating this burger, and then I don't think I finished it. I probably ate like half, but I just remember my like roll just dude, I just remember being on the floor just just completely fucked. And I think I eventually made my way to my bed and eventually passed out. But man, and then I still like I was on the I had to fucking hit up Austin. I'm like, dude, I want the rest of my Molly. You know what I'm saying? That shit was pretty good, but I want the rest. Because it wasn't seeming like he was gonna give it to me, and I wasn't being like assertive or like give it to me, but I was like, yo, bro, I feel like that would just be fair. I was kind of expecting at least 2 points, but honestly 3. So either way, that was honestly the story. Yeah, don't do it, honestly. I mean, obviously don't do that. Most people are going to be like, what the fuck, that was so stupid. But at the same time, all I had to do was stand there and talk to people. So if I had any other responsibilities, I wouldn't have done that because I couldn't even barely hand people their mask. Like, I would have a hard time just getting it out of the box. And it was just, man, it was just fucking crazy. And it, I don't know. I already don't know how to describe the feeling of drugs, but like that, it's not even like visual or anything like that. It's just the feeling. And I mean, it's a feeling of no feeling, right? You don't feel shit, but it's like, it's crazy. I don't even know. I'm just kind of going on at this point, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Let me know what you think about the new mic quality. Trying to improve my quality and content and everything, and